Yo, Suave, what up, man?
Man, it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and telling by your garb, it really is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Smell like money.
On me. Get money, and we gonna get money.
This is
a big time
special edition of the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop.
Infused.
Wood. Burgundy.
You stay classy, internet.
No. The class
no,
is.
You don't get to cut. You don't get to cut me off. You got me up past my bedtime, and it's a special edition. So if it's a special edition, I'm gonna get to say my name.
All right, cool.
Just because you dress for business don't mean you can give me the business.
Stand on business. Run it back.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
There it is.
Look at these fantastic guests we have.
The person, I don't know what side of the screen is on for you. For me, to my left, that way.
The way you're pointing, then you would go left to me and then down one.
Down there? Okay.
Now you're
all
pointing
right.
at the different. You're another person.
All right. El Jefe Antonio Nieve, a.k.a. Tony Snow, is back with us. Gang. And he has brought with him a guest. And I can't do this. Tony. You must introduce this man with this nice 20 pounds of gold plating around his chest plate.
All right, I've been coming on Broken Pencil Booking Company for a while now, and I've brought a couple guests. Past matter, they all pale in comparison to this man. Okay, and we're talking about Rodney Mack, Teddy Long. Who else have we brought in? Boogeyman. They all pale in comparison to the Crown Prince of Snowman Enterprises, the best Johnny. The only Johnny that matters, my Johnny, and that's Johnny Lightning, your WFC Prime Champion. As of this moment, none of the other guests we've had on matter. You can even go back to episode 1 when you had Lance Archer. Sorry, Murder Hog Monster, but you got trumped by the Crown Prince of Snowman Enterprises this episode, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Johnny Lightning is here with us.
Johnny Lightning, welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
So,
Great to have you.
Near and dear to my heart is the city and town of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And don't know if you know this, Johnny, but that's where I grew up. That's home to me. So my passion for professional wrestling started in Tulsa. Take me back to your childhood. Where did it kick off for you?
Oh, man. See, I grew up small town Arkansas, furthest thing from Tulsa. But in the last 2 years I've been coming to Tulsa, it's like a second home to me, and I love it.
Small town. Try me. Small town where? How small?
So small that we had to cut a patch of grass so we could get my private jet to land in and out of it. I don't even have an airport. That's how small it is.
That's money right there. That's money. And you've been wrestling for about 5 years. Is that correct? 4 years. See, I'm right.
Yeah.
Doing the Googles here. How long before you started your foray into the championship side of things did you decide that the best business decision for you was to link up with El Jefe?
Oh, man. See, let me take you back. It was January when we met. And at that time, as soon as I met him, I was like, I got to be with this guy. Because we clicked like that.
Right on. Now, Tony, what made you gravitate towards him as a manager?
Well, see, my first night in the company, I wanted to go ahead and establish myself with gold right away. So I made an offer to the current tag team champions at the time, Toxic Masculinity. Johnny's a member of that tag team, and so is Johnny Dynamite. And if you look back at that footage, you can look in Johnny Lightning's face and you can see that he was interested. He wanted to talk to me more about this stuff. Johnny Lightning shut it down. He actually said himself, yeah, we've had managers in the past, and it didn't work out that great. That same day, I offered my services to Dutch Hagen, and Richie Adams started getting in the way, and we saw what happened to that tag team. Just stay out of Tony Snow's way. But anyway, I wanted those titles at first. At first, it was all about the titles. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know this guy from Adam. My first day there was all about the titles. But in that pursuit and the lengths that this man took to keep those tag team titles, this guy cheated and did stuff that I would have done. But, since he's a good guy, the crowd liked to let him do it. You know what I mean? But the whole time we were chasing him for these titles, I was like, man, I would love to have this guy on my side. I'd love to have this guy on my squad. And so last show that we had, he got beat down once again and left laying in the ring, and his tag partner was nowhere around. And Tony Snow found him in the back of the venue licking his wounds. And I did something that I've yet to do and I will never do again, and that is make a second offer to somebody. I offered that t-shirt to him one more time, and you could hear it when they played it on the Titantron. Half the crowd said, do it. Half the crowd said, don't do it. Well, obviously, Johnny's not from Tulsa, Oklahoma, because, no offense, Wood, he has an education higher than an 8th grader. He made the right choice.
Hey.
He shows up. He came out.
Are
there
you
during
smarter
the match,
than an 8th grader?
took off
Apparently
his Johnny
not.
Shirt and had his Snowman Enterprises shirt, and he was immediately thrust on top of Diamond Duke's shoulders and celebrated as for the champ that he is.
It looks like El Jefe has turned WFC into We Find Champions.
Oh,
Very good. Very
I
good.
remember the faction. Johnny's our prime championship. Our prime champion, the Shining, Diamond Duke, and Handsome Jack, 25 years experience each. They're the tag champs. And then we have, Dirty Dutch Hagen, the heavyweight champion, who's coming up on a historic reign. And Saturday, Riker's just going to be a very large speed bump on his journey to become, the most historic, longest reigning champion in the history of the company. So, yeah, right now WFC stands for We Find Championships. Yeah, there we go.
Look at you. Look at you over here bringing things home. Now, Johnny, talk to me about your match that's coming up Saturday in Tulsa.
well, it's the biggest match of my career. I mean, we've been partners for 2 years. We've trained together for longer than that. And I got to say, we were a pretty great tag team. I mean, he's talking about Dutch being the longest reigning heavyweight champion, and that's coming up on just a year. But together, we held those tag team titles for 545 days. So that makes his reign pales in comparison to what we did.
Hold on. You carried that tag team for 500 days, Bus. You carried that team.
I did carry the team. For 2 years, people have been calling him Marty Jannetty. So
Wow.
He's Marty. He's the Marty of the group.
My goodness.
So
Dude, everything about toxic masculinity, everything about it, from the branding, the logos, the gear, the finisher, everything highlights Johnny Lightning. It was always all about him. Dynamite's just mad that I chose Lightning and anointed him the prime champion and not him. That's it. He feels like the dejected girl that didn't get asked to prom.
So will the entire faction, was all the Snowman Enterprises be representing here this weekend?
Oh yeah, everyone's there. Dutch is, like I said, he's defending against Riker. My tag team, we've run out of suitable tag teams for my guys to defend against after we got through toxic masculinity. You boys took up our time for 10 months there, Johnny, by the way. Anyways, thank you. No, everything is forgiven, by the way. All is forgiven. So I've come up with the Tony Snow Snowman Enterprises Invitational Battle Royal. I've invited singles wrestlers and tag teams from all over the industry. We're going to put them all in the ring, and the last two people in the ring, whether they're a tag team or singles wrestlers or what, the last two people standing will get a tag team title shot that night against the Shining. And then, of course, we're going to see Johnny Lightning take that waste of space, Johnny Dynamite, out behind the woodshed, and Old Yeller, if you know what I'm talking about.
Or him with the pool cue.
That is not what they did to Old Yeller. You might have to take a second and let that digest. That is not how Old Yeller ended. I'm certain of it.
Well,
yeah, he hit him with a pool cue, and then they were fine the next day. No,
we're rewriting the classics here.
What Lightning does to Dynamite is going to be permanent. The whole time we were in our feud, I kept saying, Johnny, I'm going to end your career. I'm going to end your career, Johnny. Well, the whole time I was talking about Dynamite. And how am I ending his career? First, I took his best friend from him in Johnny Lightning, anointed him the WFC Prime Champion, and now we're going to make a fool out of him in front of God and everybody. I'm taking everything from Johnny Dynamite. I'm going to love every second of it.
So, Lightning, are you looking past Dynamite, or are you just looking to Dynamite for this event, and then on to bigger and better things after this is over with?
So, I would be as bold to say that Johnny Dynamite, I'm starting with my toughest challenger in Johnny Dynamite, because I can't take anything away from him. I wouldn't have been his partner for 2 years if I didn't think he was talented. So I think my biggest challenge is this weekend. So if I can get past Johnny Dynamite, who knows all my tricks, then I can beat anybody in WFC.
So then you're going for the big gold eventually is what the goal is, of course.
Well, I'm not trying to step on fellow Snowman members, but whatever happens, happens.
Little
man, like Dusty Rhodes said, like Dusty Rhodes said, if you ain't trying to win the big one, what are you doing it for?
I'm hoping I'm not trying to foreshadow any beef here within Snowman Enterprises. I don't want to do that.
Instigating is what you're doing.
I'm trying. Hey, I'm trying to be. I'm the Bill Alfonso of podcasting. I'm going to call it right down the middle, Daddy.
That's not what you've been doing here.
Hey, I'll be Gorilla Monsoon then. Will you stop?
And hey, I'll even say this. All due respect to Dutch, because he is the world heavyweight champion, I think this is the big title, because it's on me and not him.
Wow, there you go.
Now that is absolutely acceptable. But what you've been doing, Wood, that's ham and egger stuff. Stop it.
And if you look up the word prime in the dictionary, what's it say, champ?
It's the best. The prime. It's the best. Prime cut.
Now, Snow, you had some issues over the past few months in WFC simply because you are the CEO, founder, and president of Snowman Enterprises. But didn't you have a little bit of business that you have to take care of by this weekend, or you're going to be, fined, indefinitely suspended, a bunch of other things that I can't even talk about legally?
No, I wouldn't go that far. Let me just say that if you're coming to a show and you're coming to that show as a fan to enjoy the show, then you need to be at that show as a fan. If you're coming to that show as some other type of capacity, then go in that capacity. But if you're going to sit with the fans, and if you're going to have signs about my faction that are offensive to me, I'm going to respond to them. And I'm going to respond to them in the ways that I respond, okay? And, it's not my fault that these people were 6 rows back when they supposedly heard me say something I didn't say. But, it's just how it is, man. It's entertainment, dude. I made a very similar point when I posted the video a couple days ago of one of our WFC super fans, a special needs gentleman named Ethan, and he was sitting on the front row, and he kept yelling what I kept thinking was fuck boy. To me, it sounded like he was saying F boy over and over again. You have to use the bleep button. I'm sorry.
You just
But he
made my
kept saying
job
F
that
boy
much
over
harder,
and
so
over
thank you.
again. And me knowing that he's not all right, I'm just sitting there trying to calm him down. Like, you're getting a pass, bro, but calm down, chill. And he's yelling at me to shut up, calling me F boy, F boy. Well, apparently his mother finds me online, and his mother reaches out to me and says he was saying punk boy, punk, Punk, punk boy. But she apologizes nonetheless. And so yeah, that's just my whole thing, man. Like, don't come to a show thinking that the money you pay for your ticket entitles you to say whatever you want without getting repercussions for it. Like, if you're gonna insult me, I'm gonna insult you right back. People either love me, hate me, or love to hate me. And if you love me, I'm going to be your hero. I'm going to put titles on all my guys, and we're going to do our best we can to win every match, no matter how we have to win it. But if you're going to hate me, I'm going to make sure I'm the most hated person in your universe. And when I'm trying to work a match, and this woman's dancing around waving a sign that says Blow Man Enterprises, yeah, that got me a little heated. So I called her a classless wench. And apparently her and her husband both swear I said something else. But it is what it is. It'll be handled.
The hearing aids weren't on too loud that night, apparently. I could see in the heat of the moment being confused for something else, but as I always tell you, those who are offended are guilty. Take that.
That's just rude behavior. Who comes out of the house acting like that? Who raised you?
I don't know. But like, I have a whole set of replacement words that I use. Like, that's one of Teddy's big rules: is no cursing ringside, because that's just cheap heat. So instead of the B word, I say wench. Instead of the F word, I say flipping. I've got a whole, I told somebody he could kiss my perineum the other day. He had no idea what I was talking about.
We've got to bring back words like harlot, floozy, scallywag, skank. Come on, Wood, help out here.
And then I told one guy I told one guy who turned out being Tommy Dean's dad that his breath smelled like food stamps and douche water. So
that's unfortunate.
I actually have respect for Tommy Dean, so I apologized to Tommy, and he laughed and said that he and his dad both laughed it off.
You're tiptoeing in the devil's waters right now with those choices of words, but at the same time, you're not necessarily crossing that line into the fire, but you got gasoline draws on. Know that.
Yeah.
So Johnny, looking at this weekend, Tulsa WFC up against Johnny Dynamite. What do you anticipate being your biggest challenge with him going into their title defense?
Of course. I mean, like, from the perspective of being best friends for 2 years, and we train together legitimately. Like a lot of tag teams, they meet up on the weekend, they go tag. We live 15 minutes from each other. We go to the ring, we get ring time, we work out, we work on stuff. So we know each other so well, we're so intertwined. We know each other's moves. We know every trick up each other's sleeves. I think that's going to be my challenge, is pulling a trick out that he doesn't know already, because we've kind of taught each other a lot over 2 years. So it's almost going to be like fighting myself in a way. So, and what better opponent than yourself?
I like that in you.
See, you've got something he doesn't. You've got the manager of champions in your corner. Okay, I'm the wild card here, guys. Let's just be straight honest here.
Speaking of,
since I've been in the company, Dutch Hagen hasn't lost the WFC championship match. And I don't see Johnny Lightning losing a prime title as long as I'm in his corner. This guy's gonna be a world champion one day, and I'm gonna be the guy to manage him to do it. It's gonna happen.
Speaking of, what is that you have in your hand, sir?
Well, this is my cane. This is Harry the horse.
Hello, Harry.
What up, bro?
Yeah, he doesn't like sweat hogs. Which, hey, if you're a sweat hog and you want to be proud of it, go to Pro Wrestling Tees and get yourself a sweat hog shirt.
Talk about it. I've seen if you've been doing some damage on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Oh, yeah, ProWrestlingTees.com/Tony Snow. I got 4 designs up there now. I got one of them that was designed on my face, made by a comic book artist. I've got my white and black faction tees that are on sale for $14 to commemorate Johnny joining the family. They're on sale all month long for only $14. And then I've got my Los Rayos del Infierno shirt from down at MPX. Those are all on there. And then my Sweat Hog shirt actually is not on Pro Wrestling Tees yet because you're only allowed 4 designs at once. You can order that direct through me. It looks like a baseball jersey, but it says Sweat Hogs on it.
Here, Piggy
Sweat Hog
Piggy.
shirt. I just pulled up the store now. It's looking marvelous.
I wish you could share the screen and show it to us. But yeah, here, Piggy Piggy is my call for the Sweat Hogs.
Oh, dude, I love it. 9 Inch Nails has a theme song called Piggy, and I want to use it at some point in my career as an entrance song because it's great, man.
Well, right now there's only one person shelling out that kind of bread.
Sweat Hogs is kind of evolved into piggies down there. I call them piggies. So
The follow-up to the Sweat Hog shirt needs to be, do you speak oink?
do you speak oink? I smell bacon.
I smell bacon there. That could be a compliment to some people, though.
No.
So have you been to Tulsa? All right.
I passed through once.
Good for you. There's no Buc-ee's there.
Yeah, that's a rough trip.
Oh man.
How's Bucky's stock doing?
Don't know. It
I don't care how Bucky's stock is doing because Snowman Enterprises stock is going through the roof because of this young man.
There it is.
That's how you spin it. That is how you put your spin on it.
That is straight spin. Johnny, outside of
For years they've been saying he's the better Johnny. For years they've been calling the other guy Marty. And I'm ready to finally just be done with this guy. Move on to, continue molding Johnny Lightning into a world champion. So Saturday is all about the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. We're going to close the book on toxic masculinity. And we're going to, start writing the chapter of the Crown Prince of Snowman Enterprises, Johnny Lightning, future world champion.
Johnny, outside of WFC.
Window.
no plate glass through the eye. Outside of WFC, Johnny, who's motivating you right now to do what you do on a weekly basis?
Well, I mean, my biggest motivation is my little sister because she's 9. So, she goes to school and tells all the kids that her bubby's a wrestler. And, so she comes to all my local shows that are closer to home. And I'm her superhero. So that's why I do it, other than for myself, is to know that she's a role model in her life that she can look up to.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. All bad guys are really the good guys when it comes to superheroes and comic books. You know this.
Absolutely, yeah.
Down through the annals of history, it's always been that way. I mean, look at Suave.
Look, I do what I can to give back to a community who needs a beacon of light. That's it. That's all I do.
I mean, and if Tony Snow wasn't such a if he was a bad guy, I'm sorry, if he was a good guy, he wouldn't have all the belts. He wouldn't have all the gold right now.
Here's this thing. Can we hit it with the Trips?
Uh-oh. Uncle Trips has made a cameo.
Here's the thing.
Everybody in this world takes shortcuts. Every company takes shortcuts. Look at the Forbes 500 list. Every company on there takes shortcuts at some point. Somebody in that company is doing something they're not supposed to be doing. Whether you're AT&T or whether you're the Salvation Army. Okay? Because people are human and people are flawed and people screw up. So, the only difference between them and me is I have the balls and the testicular fortitude to do my shortcuts and cheating in front of all these mouth breathing, window licking rednecks. Like, I have the nerve to do what I have to do to help gentlemen like him win titles and then keep them. That's my job. I'm a professional wrestling manager. My job is to secure championships. And by securing that, I mean winning them, getting them, and keeping them. That's it. That's all that matters. And right now, all 4 of my guys have gold. So right now, all that matters is keeping that gold right where it's at, around the waist of all 4 of those guys.
Man, Johnny, you might want to stick around this guy for the foreseeable future, and maybe even the unforeseeable future. He's taking you places. He got something. He got some jewelry there for you.
Like, I love my Man Enterprises. I love the guys, Dutch, Duke, Jack. I love those guys. But again, not trying to undermine anybody. I am the crown prince for a reason, and I may not be the heavyweight champion. I'm the prime champion, and in my eyes, this is the biggest prize in WFC. I'm not necessarily worried about becoming heavyweight champion, because this is the title that I want to take to the top above the heavyweight championship, because there's no boundaries on this title. And regardless of what the last match is on Saturday, the prime championship is the main event, because me and Johnny Dynamite are going to steal the show.
There it is. Go ahead and plug everything that you have, all the socials, any additional shows you got coming up. Plug away.
Absolutely. All right. So starting out October 21st, Luna Event Center, Tulsa, Oklahoma, me versus Johnny Dynamite. That's WFC. October 28th, next weekend, I'm in Rogers, Arkansas for Ozark Mountain Wrestling. November 4th, we're back in Tulsa for WFC again. November 11th, I'm in Springfield, Missouri for Mid-States Wrestling. So that's my lineup for the foreseeable future.
Dude, tell my guy, what's his name? From Ozark Mountain Wrestling. What's his name? Yeah, tell my boy Warsaw I said what's good. I keep wanting to call him his shoe name because that's how we talk on Facebook. But Ivan Warsaw from NXT. Boy, it's his territory. He was in the Wyatt family when they first started in NXT.
Right on. Snow, you're a regular here. I mean, I can't sign off without you not plugging everything. So go ahead, you plug away too.
Of course. Thank you, sir. On all my social media, Real Tony Snow. You can find me everywhere. ProWrestlingTees.com/Tony Snow. This week, you can see me on the 20th. I will be at Sherman, Elks Lodge Arena in Sherman for Texoma Pro Wrestling. We have a bona fide Hall of Famer, Gerald Briscoe, is going to be on the show. Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And everybody remembers, his exploits during the Attitude Era with Pat Patterson. Gerald Briscoe is going to be on the show. And then, as he said, the 21st, we have our 12-year anniversary. And then on the 28th, I have the very last show at my venue here in Durant, music-wise, and we got Paul Wall coming up for it.
What it do, Paul Wall?
December, I should be back at MPX.
People's champ.
Already. 59 South. At Broken Pistol BC on all things social. At Broken Pistol BC on what?
Everything.
And show at brokenpistolbc.com is the email address. Johnny, kick ass this weekend. We know you're gonna bring home that gold still. Make sure you keep it nice and shiny, because next time you come back on here, we want to see that with you. Snow, it's always a pleasure. More pleasure over here for the people, the sweat hogs, that is, than it is for the general masses, because the sweat hogs.
Do you speak oink?
I smell bacon.
Hey, and real quick, I got somebody here that's done his best to be quiet the whole show. Say hi. Don't tell me. Yeah.
Tony's back getting money in his show.
Nah. Hell no.
First, we in negotiations for Tony's TED Talk. Yeah. Bloomberg's been reaching out because the stock is going sky high. I'm going to be quiet. He's the CEO. I'm just an investor.
Hold on, man. Tony, shame on you. Shame on you. Matter of fact, shame on you.
He lives 2 miles away from me. How am I not going to have him on here?
My point exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, get on camera. Get it real quick. We won't take long. Ladies and gentlemen, battle rap extraordinaire, commentator extraordinaire, bad guy to the scars, king of the Fat Brothers.
Commentator at Texoma Pro Wrestling, lead commentator.
King of the Fat Brothers.
Brothers,
Ladies and gentlemen, Detroit's own Deuce Freight's in the building. And he froze up. There it is.
Hey, yo. I'm trying to hold back tears. Tony Snow has changed my life. Ever since I invested in Snowman ENT, I swear to God, my life has changed.
The ROI is through the roof.
I left my family. I got more beautiful women. I just got back.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Back up. The man said he left his family.
Look, I ain't never coming home no more.
I'm never coming home. Have you ever been flown out to Miami? Tony said, yo, we going for a spa day. I said, pause. Next thing you know, I'm on a private jet. We landed in Miami. Women that I've never seen. I never thought a woman like that would touch me.
Dude, I spent so much money with Rolex recently. They're sending a personal shopper around with me.
Price just went up. Why would I stay with my family? I'm getting better women now. Put my practice for me.
Oh, man.
Been to Miami with Tony yet? Been to Miami. I thought A1A was everything. There's places you gotta know certain people. Fat Joe couldn't get in.
I'm actually driving to Miami next month, so I mean, we get money. We get money.
Today's price.
It's not. Wow. Deuce, you got to come back. That's enough for pause for a tease.
Y'all gotta have an all Deuce episode, man. Just have Deuce on to talk to him.
Facts. That has to happen.
Yo, shout out Suave Burgundy for the hottest music right now in wrestling, by the way.
Dominate.
Hey, man.
Listen.
Listen. We got more coming. We got more coming. By top of the year, I say towards the end of Q1, it's about to get stupid. I can't forget. It's almost the season, Suave.
What season would that be?
It's almost Suavetoberfest season.
The season that keeps on giving. At this point, anybody associated with Snowman Enterprises, you get your theme music half off.
Ooh.
There you go. Half off.
Hit the red,
Johnny.
One time for the one time, and there it is. It can't get any better than that, man. Suave, take it to the house.
Pencil pushers. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, rate, subscribe, share. Then tell that friend again. Heads up. Pencils down.
And straight like that. We gone.